Ladies lingerie, fourth floor. Remember they used to have that? They have an elevator guy. That's what elevators need again out here in this building, an elevator guy. Well, then everybody gets stuck, Dom. How long have you been stuck in an elevator for, Dan? It's only happened to me. This was the second time today, and I'm usually
Hold on a second.
yeah.
You got stuck in an elevator.
Yes, that's true. The elevator out here. Apparently it happens quite a lot.
Only you.
Yes. And I just hit the button for 4. One lurched a bit, and it just stopped there. You know, they need a better system. I mean, we're communicators. The guy from the front desk is the help guy. There's a giant fan over your head.
We're a radio company.
Yeah, we don't want to be screaming at him to get me out of there. You want to have the goodwill. God knows he said, well, it could be quite a while. How long before you sit down in an elevator if you're stuck? I wasn't going to sit down. I kind of leaned against the wall that.
Oh, the minute I find out that I'm stuck, I don't care how dirty that floor is. I'm sitting down on it.
Maybe there ought to be seats where you can sit down in an elevator just because you get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, it's another reason why don't take elevators past maybe 4 or 5 floors. After that, you're better off walking up.
Did that sense of dread ever set in that, I'm going to be stuck in here forever?
I told the guy I have a radio show to do, kind of thing. And the guy wasn't impressed. He said, well, they won't be here for 20 or 25 minutes. And I started to think, how can I hook up from there? That might be a pretty
They had to call up
show.
the elevator mechanic to get it working again?
Yeah, they don't have their own. They had a call outside here in Philadelphia. You can imagine.
If you're standing outside the elevator doors, all you could hear is...
Get him out. Get him out of here. All right, so if you have an elevator story along the way, you can work it in. How long before you decide it's time to sit down? Dan is instantaneous.
Yeah.
I think I was in there 37 minutes.
Was it hot?
Yeah, it started to be hot. Even though there's a fan, it doesn't really do anything.
You're funneling your top button there. When you first walked in, it was unbuttoned. It looked like you had been through hell and back.
Yeah. Trying to maintain some decorum here. So you can hit me with that at 855-839-1210. You can get in. It happens. No, it wasn't George Soros. No, it wasn't Larry Krasner.
How do we know it wasn't George?
Yeah,
Soros
we do not know. That's true. Yeah. So what I did with this maniac on the loose and the world unable to deal with this maniac, first of all, kudos to that homeowner, Dan. He had not just one gun there, but 2. And he opened fire on him, fired 7 times. It doesn't seem he's hit him, at least that we've heard yet. And you got to give this maniac some credit, Dan. He ditches his prison sneakers, right? Maybe they shouldn't be giving these guys sneakers.
Oh, you want them barefoot?
Maybe clogs or flip-flops, something like that.
Crocs?
Yeah, that's what they ought to have.
They wore Crocs in prison.
Yeah, let's say, see if you can run away in those versus sneakers.
Crocs with the backs, little back strap that's broken, so you can't strap it.
So you can't strap it. So this guy loses his shoes because they're so muddy. He takes them off. And what does he do? He steals the boots of the homeowner out there in Chester County. Roe goes, well, how does he know they fit? I'm like, all right, maybe he's making do with the boots.
The boots don't fit you.
Fired at 7 times. How is this going to play out when it's all over? What are progressives? What are the Inquirer? What are they all going to say? So I went back to the original trial, Dan, and I found something remarkable that the media is now not reporting on. We know that this guy, the jury only took 15 minutes at his trial to sentence him to first-degree murder. No jury takes 15 minutes. You know what that's about? They have to make it look good. They got to go in the back. They're talking about the Eagles game. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers' injury, if there was one, and something like that. Then they come out, Your Honor, he's as guilty as sin. Let's get out of here. Dan, this woman that he had beaten, the live-in girlfriend, right?
All right, let me get rid of this music real quick.
Yeah, apparently he was insanely jealous. Prosecutors presented evidence that Cavalcante had left a barbecue at his home in King of Prussia to confront Brandeo. Here's the line. This tells you what and this guy didn't get the death penalty, Dan. He brought with him a kitchen knife he had been using to slice meat for the party. So he's there at the barbecue, slicing up the meat. He gets a call or something about something he doesn't like about her now. He was insanely jealous. He says, yeah, I'll be right back. He takes the knife he was using to slice up meat, big knife, and goes and stabs her 38 times. And we can't put this guy down. I went through, I see nothing about death penalty or anything like that in the trial. And then we're going to let him run amok. He's got to be out and exercise. Now, Republicans have at least 5 or 6 bills mounting around all these issues that this prison escape brings up. I'm telling you, Democrats are going to stop them. They'll probably try to stop them from even bringing him up. Why would they do that? Well, Guy Shiraki was just on with Dawn, was on me the other day. He's a big column out, and he's right. At best, they're not serious about law enforcement, about protecting you and me. And at worst, they're complicit in it. They ought to be charged with it. That's how bad they are. So at best, you're just getting a wink and a nod from them. At worst, they're actively defunding the police, attacking the police, cutting police budgets, coming up with more ways. For example, one of these bills would say, if you try to escape from prison, or if you do escape from prison, there's no possibility of parole for you. What's wrong with that? They're going to say that's too harsh. Suppose someone has an impulse to escape from prison. Come on. Going to be very interesting. And I see on Fox, there's going to be a government update on the manhunt. Now, Dan, I'm not sure when Shapiro is going to surface, so we'll keep you abreast on that. If Governor Shapiro surfaces, is he going to talk about, are we going to hear the lectures now on gun control? Because this maniac has a gun. How is this a gun control issue? What would have been done to prevent this maniac? Thank God this guy had more than one gun. Thank God he opened fire. I wish he was a better shot and hit them all 7 times. Suppose these people didn't have weapons. What might he be doing? A guy that's cutting up meat at a barbecue gets a call about the girlfriend, proceeds to say, yeah, I'll be back. Don't cut any more meat. I'll be back to finish cutting it. And goes off and stabs her 38 times with this big knife. And this society says, thanks to Josh Shapiro's son, Deb Ryan, every one of these Democrats, no, the death penalty is not called for. What are they going to frame that this is all about? You know what it's about. Illegal immigration, no death penalty, Democrats and progressives who are not serious about their oath of office and protecting the public. That's what it's about. What will they tell us ultimately this is all about? What is it about? It's pretty clear that's what it's about. When I read this today, though, going back and looking at the trial, imagine the big knife he's cutting up meat with at the barbecue. He goes off to stab her. If that's not premeditation, if that's not everything you need to know, I don't know what is. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210. This will be cut 8. Judge Grissom, I saw on CNN this morning, Governor Grissom. Now, this woman was actually being considered by the Biden administration as a VP choice. She's the one that has put a halt to your right to bear arms in New Mexico. We're going to talk with a special guest at 12:30 about this in Pennsylvania. But even Poppy, Dan, I was watching this. I couldn't believe it. Even Poppy said, how the heck do you have a constitutional right just to tell people the Second Amendment doesn't exist? Here's the response of the governor, particularly another Democrat, another progressive, going after the police because the sheriff there says he's not going to take away the legal right to bear arms, that it is clearly unconstitutional. Well, of course it is. Here's what this governor said.
Has any law enforcement officer in Albuquerque or the county actually enforced this yet?
Well, we haven't issued any civil penalties, but that doesn't mean that we're not and that we don't have the ability to do that.
But that's a no,
this is
right?
The pushback I get from every single, well, it's a no this minute, but that doesn't mean that we aren't, and it doesn't mean that we don't have additional police presence. And if not this bold action, making sure that you're safe going to the grocery store, you're safe going to a baseball game, you're safe walking on a hiking trail. There are individuals, including young people, where it's illegal today to have a handgun. openly carrying handguns. My question to law enforcement is, where are you? Where are you? In that young 11-year-old, Froylin Villegas,
Yeah.
17 rounds were fired into that gun. 35,000 rounds are fired at least annually in Albuquerque alone. You are not safe going to work, getting your prescription drugs, or going to a public park. And it wasn't just about a cooling off period. It's about making sure that everyone is safer while we do bolder work to get at both the drug epidemic and the gun violence epidemic.
Look,
and it's not for police to tell me what's constitutional or not.
Ha!
They haven't supported not one gun violence effort in the state of New Mexico,
So, Governor,
including domestic violence protections, universal background checks. And I know you want to ask me a question, so I'll take a breath, but these are NRA talking points about their rights and not about anybody else's. And it's not a ban. It's a temporary pause so that we can make this community safer.
Now, tip of the hat to Dan on this. Yesterday, we found out her attorney general, former DA in the city of Albuquerque, is a Soros-backed guy. So here's what they're doing. They create chaos, and then they want to take away our rights. And thank God for the sheriff and the police there saying, and this is a tough one for me to say because we do have civilian authority, but these are illegal orders. These are clearly out of bounds. We still do have the Second Amendment until they gain absolute power and they take it away. And you watch, they're waiting to pounce here, various liberal elements on this Chester County story, figure out some angle.
Oh, I know it already.
What's the angle?
Yeah, I mean, me and Maisie were talking about it, man. If you see a person of color in your backyard, is it okay to shoot at them? Because that's allegedly what that homeowner did, and that's how they're going to frame it. You know, the left.
Okay, we'll see if that's it. I think it's broader gun control. Well, he's an irresponsible gun owner. He's in his garage, and this guy was able to get the gun. The only thing is he's a bad shot. Or let me put it this way. I wish he were a better shot. If he actually fired at this guy 7 times, we didn't hit him once. Damn. I mean, that's just...
Only thing I could think of is maybe he's using a sawed-off rifle, and when you saw off a rifle, your accuracy goes down.
No, he had a pistol.
Oh, was it a pistol like that?
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, he's in his garage puttering around, and suddenly this guy shows up with his steak knife.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this guy at a barbecue? Hold my beer. I'm going to go and settle this. And this Debbie Ryan clown and others out there in Chester County, they can't go for the death penalty on this. Well, Dom, Josh Shapiro's son is already declared. That's out of bounds. I wonder if Josh Shapiro's son is in school today, or maybe he'll be handling how to deal with this guy. Now suddenly they're going to shoot him on sight.
Just a producer's note, we did reach out to the office of the DA, and we have heard back they're unavailable for an interview at this time.
Okay, we'll say from now until hell freezes over. Let's put that as Adlai Stevenson, Dan, you have no historical reference. He was facing the Russian ambassador Cuban Missile Crisis, the closest we've been to nuclear war. And the Russian and the United Nations says, well, I need a moment to give you a response to that. He said, I'm prepared to wait until hell freezes over. The guy looks like,
I will go wait in an elevator for as long as you need me to, if you give me this interview. Come on.
Yes. 855-839-1210. Let me take a call. Give me the side question coming up. We got a really good one today. Diane in Chester County. Diane, you're in the center of this. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? The world should not worry because in northern Chester County, it's not like southern Chester County. People are heavily armed. Where he's moving right now is what we refer to as Trump Town. It's Bucktown. Those people will not tolerate what's going on. They're armed and they're ready. So we've got state police all over the place, but what they're basically doing is directing traffic and closing down roads. We're virtually in a lockdown right now. Schools are out. People are at home with their kids. It's scary, but I think we're going to get them.
Well, I think so, too. And Diane, when this is over, instantly, we have to get into the mode of accountability here. And there are so many parts to this. You hear what I said? This guy's original trial, multiple witnesses. He's cooking up the barbecue, cooking the meat with a big steak knife, and says he gets a call about her, takes the knife with him. Hold my beer. I'll be back. Can you imagine?
Well, he's illegal. He's here illegally.
Yeah, he's gotten away with everything.
I'm-
So
I'm
why can't he
sorry.
stab somebody to death? Right.
Exactly. And it's my tax-paying money that's paying for him to probably live a better life in prison here than he would in Brazil, along with the rest of his family.
Thank you, Diane. Stay safe out there. Maybe she's right. Maybe he's moving into territory where more people are armed. I'm just waiting. I'd love to know where Josh Shapiro is now. Is he maybe over the patch over 95? I just would like to hear a few questions. What does he think about the homeowner? What does Deb Ryan think about that? What does the state police guy think about it? Well, we have no thoughts. We're going to keep on asking it till you tell us what your thoughts are.
Mhm.
Was the homeowner in the right? Well, how did the guy get the weapon then? More gun control needed. No, better shooting needed. That's the only thing out of this. And then he takes the guy's boots on top of it. My God, he just can't write this stuff. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Coming up, I'll give you the side question and your calls and the response to Aaron Rodgers, including our own Dan, I think, about this injury and what caused it. Of course, Keith Olbermann said it's instead of sudden cardiac seizure, it's sudden Liz Frank or sudden Achilles tendon damage, mocking him because of the vaccine. All right. Playing out on the biggest stage, 4 plays in. I think it's AstroTurf. Yeah, we got to save on grass. What is it with the NFL and fields that they have trouble with? You think it's something else, though, Dan. You don't think he did enough training, too much desert stuff.
Well, I wonder. The guy went on like a thing with the Pat McAfee show talking
Yeah.
about how, he would spend a week in a dark room for a while. And
Right.
yeah, that's great. But I mean, if you're a professional football player, 365 days a year, you're working on that body. I wonder in doing those week-long, stays in a dark room, if, the physical fitness aspect of being an NFL football player kind of went by the wayside this offseason and might have led to an injury.
Sounds like you had him on a season-long parlay and you're mad now.
A little bit.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I just think I could tell you if you showed me 40 balls in the air, I would tell you Aaron Rodgers' ball. It's both flying through the air at high speed, but it's soft. That's the only way I can
And you
describe
watched
it.
the end of that game yesterday. I mean,
Yeah.
the Jets did win, but there were multiple times that Salah was like doing plays that were extremely conservative, running on third downs and
Yeah.
such that he would have definitely thrown with Aaron Rodgers. So it
Yeah.
completely
Well,
changes
the
dynamic.
quarterback is beyond suspect. Raised with a silver spoon. Sorry about that. I'm not drafting a guy like that. Not
I'm not
anyway,
disagreeing
no.
there.
All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Side question coming up. Diane's out there in the middle of it. Give me your reaction to where we are now and what's the angle? How does the media spin this? One spin would be the instant he's caught, jump out of there, never talk about it again, because there's so much here that is exactly what progressivism is all about. They are not serious about protecting anyone. That's the bottom line. 855-839-1210. All right, Dom Giordano show. We kind of on the fly came up with, due to my excursion for 35, 37
I am so
minutes
sorry you had to deal with
in
that.
an
I
elevator.
would hate to have to do that.
Yeah, yes. Where in the world, and you can't get out for, well, we'll make it 35, 37 minutes. I won't say ordeal.
No, let's make it longer. Make it like 3 hours.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, some period of time that is very uncomfortable, significantly to
yeah.
you. Where in the world would you hate to be stuck? You can't get out. It could be that there's something going on that you don't like and you can't get away from it. Maybe it's danger, but that's an obvious one. That probably won't win, if it's something dangerous.
We'll consider it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, or just something that just seems to be unbelievably annoying. So, Dan, I'm thinking of mine. What's yours?
I don't want to be stuck at a Bruce Springsteen
There we go,
concert.
of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll play to the crowd.
Yeah.
Expected answer from producer Dan here, but yeah,
All
I
right.
got a couple of them though.
All right. Do you have another
No,
one?
no,
or
you
wanna
first.
hold
You
it?
go yours.
Okay. I'm thinking on this because I was all geared up with the other thing. So I'm thinking of a good answer on it. I don't have it yet.
Can I take another one off the board?
Sure.
How about you're using the public restroom at a public facility? Say you're at a concert as well, and you're halfway through getting your business done, and none other than Chris Christie walks in. I would hate to be stuck in a public restroom with Chris Christie.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
What is it about it that just
Poop Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just
well,
can't imagine it being a good experience by any
Oh
means.
my God
Yeah.
Almighty. Oh, right. Springsteen and his biggest lackey, Chris Christie.
Want one more?
Yes.
How about this happened to me actually. I was down in Louisiana. My dad, my brother-in-law, my brother and I, we went for a fishing trip in rural Louisiana. There was a tornado warning on our way to the airport, but we had to get to our flight, so we had to get driving. And we got stuck in the light was out and there was bumper to bumper traffic. So we were sitting there in traffic with nowhere to go as a tornado was forming just nearby.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a very good one. All right. So that's the side question today. Stuff happens here on the way to work. It's a tough city. 37 minutes to get out of there. A
That's
place that
terrible.
you would not. So think of all the parameters.
Sorry, did I
you
ask,
come
did
up
the
with
heat,
yours.
the air conditioning work the entire time?
It was a fan. The problem with the fan is the guy has a soft, low voice. That's the help button guy. And I'm right on top of it trying to hear it and block out the fan.
Were you alone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you that. Do you prefer, if you had to get stuck in an elevator, would you prefer to be alone or with a group of?
I would say alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
Did you think about manually opening the doors?
yes. And
Did you try?
yes. And I tried all the buttons.
Yeah.
Then I tried them in other combinations.
That's terrible.
Then I tried to call Rove first for, I don't know why, just to commiserate.
So you're a very calm guy. I think the listeners realize. If I were in the elevator within 15 minutes, I'd really start to panic. Like I'd start breathing short,
Oh,
the
my
sweat would start
goodness.
to form on the brow.
Oh,
You had
man.
none of that whatsoever?
No.
You were just a calm the entire
Well,
time?
I'm just urgency, trying to light a fire under the front desk here. What do you mean the guy's going to take 25
Tom, you
or 30
open the
minutes to get there?
elevator after 35 minutes, I am buck naked in the corner in the fetal position, sweating. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a radio show to do. We can't be doing that. No, I love when the guy, well, we got a radio show. Well, I don't know about that. Wait, what do you mean? That's when it starts to get edgy. Yeah. All right. So a place you would hate to be stuck in.
And we want specifics.
You
We
know,
want a
this
specific
elevator
answer.
experience was so traumatic, 37 minutes. I may have to milk it tomorrow for who would you hate to be stuck or who would you like to be
Oh,
stuck
that's a
on an
great one,
elevator
too.
with?
Yeah.
Yes. We'll have to milk it for a couple of days here. All right. It's 855-839-1210. You get on board AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you need to do is just push pound 1210. What is the angle ultimately? And I arrived at what the media is going to do. They're going to cover this breathlessly, a lot of coverage. Once it's over, they are going to retreat quickly like it never happened because all the angles are bad. You got the illegal immigration angle. You got the angle they can't pursue here on guns. I don't think, but it depends on what this idiot does with the gun. That's my biggest worry. He has no care about anything. But we couldn't go with the death penalty before. Someone's going to have to explain that now. We can do the death penalty on them now, shoot them on sight. Dan, did you know, though, here's the nugget of the day. Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, the state guy, said there are some police organizations involved in this. I guess it's the federal, Dan, or whatever. They are not authorized to shoot him. They're not authorized to take him out. The state police are authorized to take him out. The average citizen is going to take him out. I mean, what the heck? In what universe shouldn't they fire upon this guy now? But that's right from the state police yesterday. I haven't heard it anywhere else. All right, let me get one on board here. Then we got a special guest coming up. Let's go to Gretchen in Yardley. Hey, Gretchen, where would you hate to be stuck?
On the tarmac.
Oh.
Have you had that happen to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but
Oh.
when I hear about it on the reports, I just, oh, man.
Well, you know what the problem is? If you're stuck and you start to say anything, now you're dealing with federal officers. You know, you get that stuff, and you know what happens?
He's not real.
The slightest whimper, we've been here 8 hours. What's happening? That could be trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is a good one. Yeah, that's where I would hate to be stuck.
Even more specific on youtube.com/@1210WPHT, Dining with Dom every day from noon until 1. Please check us out, like and subscribe. Ipso facto wrote, on an airplane stuck on the tarmac with having to go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah, can
Yes.
you imagine? Because you can't use it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't let you off. They don't let you can't use the bathroom on the
Allegedly.
tarmac?
I'm pretty sure that was the case when we got stuck on the tarmac recently. We were only
Okay.
stuck for like 20 minutes, but it's
I don't-
miserable because you have to turn off the air conditioning system too, so
Yeah.
you just get blown with the like
Yeah.
gross recycled warm air.
Oh, that's going to be hard to beat. That's a pretty good one. I'm sure we have some other place, though. All right, State Senator Chris Dush is with us coming up. He is the big Second Amendment guy in Harrisburg, concerned about what this governor did in New Mexico. But I'm also going to ask him about Republicans have 5 bills out there at least to handle some of the issues that came up with this maniac who's on the loose. What will Democrats do about them? I love this song, by the way. I want to continue to play. 855-839-1210. You get in.
Just to get the listeners thinking creatively,
Yeah.
Orange Cat, great answer on Twitter, man. Stuck in a parent-teacher conference with the ex-wife.
Oh, now wait a minute, though. Why is it that never the woman says the ex-husband? Notice, too, I have, Dan, I don't have a sympathy. I got to admit it for this. When they do the article, they didn't say my ex-wife. They saw the ex. It's always the that sets me off. The wife.
Wait, he did say my ex. I
Did he
added
say
the-
my?
Yeah, he said with my ex-wife. But still, you're
the
right.
my is conciliatory.
That's
The-
Hassan bin Sober that says the ex-wife. all
the
time.
ex-wife.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man, that's brutal. All right, bro, there's brownie points. Macy, chalk that up on the board. We're good guys. We don't say the wife. All right, for all you seafood lovers who still haven't tried Captain Chucky's crab cakes, what are you waiting for? At Captain Chucky's, they're always trying to keep things new and fresh. If you haven't tried the new bangin' crab ravioli or lobster ravioli with their amazing blush sauce, now's the time. Also, try Captain Chucky's brand new product, Philly Famous Clams Casino, a mouth-watering addition to your table. Ask your local Captain Chucky's for availability. Captain Chucky's, several choice of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes, literally a crab cake for everybody. Dessert, soup, sides, appetizers, and of course, my personal favorite, the Dom Roll. They use only the highest quality ingredients. Their Gulf shrimp is a huge hit, always wild caught, never farm raised. Get those college and pro game day orders in now. Visit the independent owners of the satellite stores, 19, soon 20 locations. Wayne and Elaine Jones, Chester Springs, Frank Chirillo in Bluebell, John and Cindy Clark in Huntington Valley and Ocean City. See Chris and Donna Ryan in Sea Isle. The McCann family, they're open daily at noon. Ocean City is open Fridays and Saturdays, noon to 5. Congrats to Sam Cancieri, Irish Mike McGarry. Their Medford, New Jersey location now open. And coming soon to Northeast Philadelphia, Home Circle. Congrats to the Graziani family. Remember, we love crabcakes.com. All right, good Tuesday, Dom Giordano show. We played you the latest interview this morning from this progressive lunatic governor of New Mexico, thinking if she just says the word emergency, the Second Amendment doesn't exist. This is the latest, Ryan. She's blatant about it. So we were contacted by a guest we've had on a lot in the past, Senator Chris Dush in Harrisburg. I'm sure to talk about Pennsylvania and any number of things that Democrats are up to when they see something like this. And they're watching to see if this governor can push the envelope every 30 days, say emergency. Let's go to Senator Chris Dush here on Talk Radio 1210. Senator, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dom, and thanks for standing up and getting this stuff out. I just tyrants. I'm going to tell you, tyrants will every chance they get try and push the envelope about taking away the people's right to defend themselves, and not just against the thugs on the street, but also a lot of people try to ignore the fact, especially the tyrants here in Pennsylvania and then in this country, or the would-be tyrants, they neglect the fact that when that thing was written, it was because we had gone up against our own government at the time, meaning the British government, and the tyranny that we were experiencing under them. We have the right, as Jefferson said, we'll tolerate abuses to the point that they're no longer tolerable. But the tyrants definitely want to take away our ability to defend ourselves. And look, if you look at what Lenin did, what Hitler did with releasing the inmate population, getting the thugs out on the street to help cause disruptions and stuff, and then to use or say that, hey, trust the government, turn everything over to us so that we can defend you. That has never worked out well.
Well, and look at right in front of us, and I wanted to take your temperature on what's going on in Harrisburg. I know Republicans on the House side have at least 5 bills. What we're seeing here in Chester County is remarkable but predictable. These progressives, Democrats in Chester County, they've proven themselves again not to be serious about protecting people. That's how this guy was able to get on the run. But now we're hearing the gun part of it because he does have a weapon.
Yes. And look, they have. I couldn't believe the Philadelphia Inquirer actually carried my op-ed, but we went into this. The ability to defend yourself at home, it's absolutely necessary. They're telling people to lock their doors, and that's going to be your defense. I'm sorry, but we should be telling people, if you got the ability to arm yourself, you know how to responsibly use a weapon, get one, and be prepared to defend yourself against somebody like this. And I have to say, I'm a former corrections officer for the Department of State, and what happened there at that prison, the fact that this guy used the exact same escape route, and that tower officer did not see it or report it. I was a tower officer, and I'm going to tell you, one of the frustrating things I had was with the guys who didn't take that job seriously and were sleeping on post. It just, I don't know if this guy did that or what happened, but there's going to be a lot of questions about the way they're managing that system.
Well, I do hope in Harrisburg you guys hold hearings. Now, a colleague of yours, State Senator Sharif Street's got a editorial today, and his argument is, this is the other angle they're playing, why won't you guys in Harrisburg allow Philadelphia to make its own gun laws? His argument is, if they could, somehow or another people wouldn't be shooting each other in Philadelphia.
That's BS.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Look, if Philadelphia were creating its own gun laws, and then everybody in Pennsylvania that happened to go down there for something, and if we allowed that for Philly, we'd have to, under the uniformity, we'd have to allow that for every municipal government. And you would have to be checking, no matter what town you drove through, whether or not you were in compliance or not. And we've got enough problems with our guys who are legitimate concealed carry holders that get flagged in other states and pulled over. So absolutely not. And besides that, you can't take away constitutional rights. Article 1, Section 25 of the Pennsylvania Constitution says that everything in Article 1 is accepted out of the general powers of government and shall forever remain inviolate, which means you can't touch this.
Exactly. Now, the caucus, the Pennsylvania Senate Second Amendment caucus, you're the chief person there. What's on the horizon given how do you see Josh Shapiro on these issues? I mean, I think deep down he's a gun grabber, but he's trickier than some governors. What will be coming up on this front?
Well, I will be reaching out to a senator down in Arizona for this response because there's a doctrine called the doctrine of lesser magistrates. I was reminding my troops back in the day that when in the late 1940s, we had people hanging at the end of a rope in Germany with the excuse, I was just following orders. If Josh Shapiro issues any kind of a directive similar to what the governor in New Mexico did, our law enforcement community, our district attorneys, everybody who's an officer of the law and an officer of the court has a responsibility not only to ensure or not only to not comply because it's not a lawful order, they also have a duty to ensure that the person that effectuated that or gave that order doesn't have the ability to effectuate that order. And every law enforcement member out there, local, state, federal, needs to remember that. I challenge everybody who's coming up for a general officer position here in Pennsylvania over that. And
well, let me ask this then. What is the determinant? I'm in agreement with you. And as you know, the sheriff in New Mexico will not enforce this unlawful order of the governor. How do they determine, though? We want civilian authority, right? How do they determine what's unlawful and what's lawful? Who's the, where do they go?
There's an old saying, it's not in vogue anymore, but people call it insulting, but there's an old saying that the constitutions are written simply so that even the simple can understand. Yes. I actually ran into this with the last hearings on the general officer promotees. I let them all answer, there were 9 of them, but they all said that they would defer to their chief counsel or their JAG officer. And then I reminded them about that situation in Germany. And I said, the decision falls on you. And I said, it's not for a JAG officer because sometimes they can be JAG-offs. And I got to tell you, they don't understand, they don't teach true constitutional law in the law schools any longer. Our constitutions are simple, and they're meant to be simple so that the people understand their rights. And if somebody oversteps that, that's why it's called the doctrine of lesser magistrates. And somebody up on high may say that it's lawful, but even when I was going through the law enforcement academy in the Air Force, as an airman basic or an airman first class, I was expected to stand up to general officers if there was, if what I saw happening or what the order was, I knew to be unconstitutional.
Absolutely. Well, State Senator, thank you so much. Thanks for reaching out on this. And as this continues, if you can let us know if anything else comes up around this, we'd be happy to get you back on and talk about it.
All right. God bless, Dom, and keep it up.
All right. Senator Chris Dush here on Talk Radio 1210. Do I think Josh Shapiro would do what this governor did? No, Dan, but you know what I could see him doing? It would be trickier than this. He would be more explicit about the emergency of some sort. So they're sending out a shot here saying you wouldn't dare do this in Pennsylvania, right? And look, you have to have civilian authority, but this is clearly an unlawful order to tell people in compliance with whatever the law is now in New Mexico, they can't carry that firearm because it's an emergency. No way that that's going to stand up. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Side question today, coming off my non-excursion in the elevator. Hit us with a situation, a place you'd hate to be stuck. All right. Just think of maybe one where you were. That'll give you a clue.
Twitter is awesome today.
Oh,
with the
yeah. They're
side
going
questions.
crazy with this one. Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Give us the latest at Dom Show 1210.
Oh, you want some?
Yes.
Trapped. Well, let me make sure it's not on there. Trapped in the audience of The View. Could you imagine?
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
Numb kind of glommed off my suggestion of a Bruce Springsteen concert by saying, even better, stuck helping my grandmother order her Bruce Springsteen tickets.
All right. 855-839-1210. That's why I tell Ro, the first rule of everything is always know where your escape is. Any situation you're going in, how are you going to get out of there? What's the excuse? You know?
This one's probably better. How about Born to Run? Yeah.
All right. How do you get out of there?
Yeah.
All right. More of your calls coming up at 855-839-1210. The NFL season is here. And now's the time to get incredible offers from FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. That's America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. And I really like that FanDuel app. Now's the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you don't want to miss. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime. Dom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. Side question, where would you hate to be stuck? What would you hate to be stuck in? Coming off this elevator situation today, my only thing bothering me is I have a radio show to do. Well, you're not going to do it. That's it. All right. Who would you try to reach in that elevator? Dan? Greg Stocker, the program director?
Who did you try to reach first?
Dorenzo. I told the guy, call Dorenzo. It's my one call there. He'll move things out. These other guys, I don't know. He's at the controls here. I'm sure he'll.
You get one call, Giordano,
See,
one
I
call.
thought you and Greg would be there with the jaws of life getting me out of there. We got a radio show to do. Fix the elevator later.
Just
right.
Hulk the door open.
Yes.
So
hit us with where you would hate to be stuck. And our eyes, the whole nation, in some measure, is watching what's playing out in Chester County.
Hey, Jim O'Connell, great answer on Twitter. Just want to give a shout out to him. He said, stranded in a Tesla on the Schuylkill Expressway during a blizzard.
Exactly. I mean, this stuff, there's a good one, Dan. There's a lot to mine there. With electric vehicles, a lot of problem. I think our Mike Opelka got stuck in his and couldn't get out. There's something that happened. I'm not sure. But Granholm, you have to see this woman up close. She's a former beauty queen, the energy secretary. She tries to go using an electric vehicle, not enough charging stations. So one of her little minions, Dan, blocks a charging station with a fossil fuel gas car, and the cops come out. Oh, you got to love it. This stupid scheme. And you know why Biden loves the electric vehicle? Because he sees this as the wisdom of Solomon. He can keep the unions happy. They'll still build cars, etc. But he keeps the climate fanatics happy because they like China and lithium. Apparently, there's a huge lithium discovery in Nevada now. We'll see how that plays out. But Granholm, trying to go a few states, has to block a charger station because there's so few of them to put in to charge up her car.
America's chickens are coming home to roost.
Now, if you have a hybrid, I could see you still have the option of gas and all that, just dependent on electric vehicle charging stations. Imagine her staff. All right, drive the car over there, block that so others can't use it. She's coming down the road. We want her to be able to pull in and have a photo op. That's illegal. All right, coming up, we'll get more answers to this. Where would you hate to be stuck? We're also charting what's happening around this impeachment inquiry. I'll break it down why I think it's the right move. They're not going to impeach Biden. They're going to inquire about it. And that gives them more leverage to go after Biden and Hunter Biden. That's what the plan is. It's a good plan. 855-839-1210. Let's talk for a moment about my friend, my dentist, the board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. Now, Dr. Bentz is nationally recognized. He lectures all over the place, and locally, dentists routinely refer patients to him for more complex cases. And he has such a great support system. The people that actually make your teeth along with Dr. Bentz supervising are artisans. And then there's those 3D printers we always kid about that are just incredible. What they do is it means everything is in-house. It allows Dr. Bentz the ability to expand his patient solutions, specialize in new ways to help you get great dentistry. And that's what everybody wants in an efficient, convenient manner. Call Dr. Bentz at 610-272-6949. Make that appointment today. It's the Bentz Dental Group at 610-272-6949. Get that initial evaluation. Meet with Dr. Bentz. You'll see why for years my listeners have met with Dr. Bentz and are getting great dental care. It's 610-272-6949.